Hello and welcome to Games That Grow Your Biz. Today I'm incredibly excited. And first of all, I'm Jean Berry, your business game expert. But I am excited, so I'm just going to talk about that first because I have an incredible guest on today. It is Karen Joy Fritz. Karen is your friendly neighborhood geek in the adventure of small business ownership. Her entrepreneurial game, Path, integrates her success in seven-figure entrepreneurial ventures, coaching certifications, and delight in tech. Karen sees how you are ideally suited to what you're here to do, aligning strategy and system to you, making success sustainable both financially and energetically. Karen is equally at home exploring motorcycling, motherhood management, or meditation, and I love that alliteration in that, anything that brings her a more aliveness. She has traveled the world to experience sacred sites, as well as co-founded the Colorado chapter of Conscious Capitalism. Karen, I am so happy that you are here. Let me get you on screen. There you are. Hi, yay!
Thank you so much, Jean.
And so before we dive into the rest, I didn't actually address this, which is under your name there. Whoops, there you go. Which says Purpose-tivity Expert. Can you tell us about that?
I feel like each of us is here for a purpose, which isn't necessarily a project. And it's really important for us to be productive on our purpose, hence purpose-tivity, rather than just general productivity, get something done, do the important things.
Love that. I love that so much. So we are here to talk about games and decks, and you have invented an incredibly cool game called Path. And we'll talk a little bit more about it and actually play it. And we actually have a question for you. So if you are a business owner and you want to take your business to the next level, this question that we ask of this game is going to be so powerful, and I'm really excited to get to that. So just hang on a minute because we're going to get to that. But before we do that, Karen, why a game? Why did you invent a game? Why what the heck, right? You're about productivity, and yet here we are with a game.
Well, part of the way that I'm designed, right? If you're going to have your business designed to fit you, part of the way that I'm designed is to have fun and to make it fun. And I saw this little thing go by about having a game in your business. And frankly, from my perspective, I didn't have one. So it was something new to try. And I loved the way that it really allowed me to coalesce each of the different parts of my business and bring it into something that's coherent. Even like just building the business and figuring out together how it works and all the fun we had building it allowed me to get more coherent in how I describe my business to other people. So why have a business? Why not? Why have a game? Well, why not? Like it's uh, it's unique. There's so many people now who have books. I have books. They're over there somewhere. Oops, over there then. And it's people don't necessarily have time to read books, but people have time to play a game, to get a little shot of inspiration, to get a little different perspective on whatever they're looking at in a day. And I feel like that makes it a unique approach to integrating more than just my intellect into my business. I want that unconscious, subconscious, mythic level to also be available in how I'm running my business.
Amazing. Yes, yes. I couldn't have said it better myself. Like, that's amazing. And what you really described is what I like to call the heart of the business game. Like a game that illustrates everything that you are, and yet so it can be standalone, and yet it describes you in such a beautiful way that they're like, oh, I get it now, right? We're going to go to the place that my child understands what it is that you do. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So your gate actually has a bunch of little components, and one of the things that it serves as is kind of an oracle style function where it gives you messages that moves you through. Um, there's another part that tells you more about yourself through kind of archetypal ideas. And the Oracle part of this game is also on the Deckable app. And so I'm going to pull up the Deckable app, and we're gonna play with that there. And before we do that, I know I keep on putting little teasers out, but before we do that, you also have in this deck animal guides, which serve to be an archetype for how we might navigate a question we ask. Yes?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'm wondering if you might pull us an animal card that we're going to, the lens through which we view our question today.
Yeah, yeah. So these are the little animal cards, and these are just different images of animals, but they actually correspond to Enneagram archetypes. And the thought is we all contain all of these archetypes. We have a default setting. This is the one I usually go to. But by putting them in, it allows us to get some insight on a different perspective we can take on the question at hand. It's not, in this case, about reaching out to some other guide or entity. It's about finding that place in ourselves that looks at things through that lens. So, for the question that we're going to be asking today, which I already happen to know, I'm going to invite a different perspective. And the one that I got is the sea turtle. So, this perspective invites us to consider all the people at the table or all the perspectives at the table and find a solution that's actually promoting the highest common good, right? To bring everyone together and uplift everyone. So that's our perspective that we're going to use when we talk about today's question.
Sweet. All right, so I'm going to pull up the screen share here. Oh, there we go. Getting my iPad to open up here. And I'm going to go right to this Deckable app. So if you don't have Deckable yet, Deckable is an app that allows you to see your cards anywhere you are on your phone or your iPad. And when I was traveling last month, I had my cards with me. So we're going to Deckable. Now, I've already downloaded Karen's deck here. But if you don't have it yet, you would select the deck store right here, and then you would search up Path, and it pops right up, and then you can go get it. So let's go ahead and go to Path. And for our reading today for your business, so if people are watching today and want to have an answer inside their business, here's the question that we have procured, which is, what is the best way to stay in balance in my business through the equinox? So it is the full moon today. It is August 30th today. Equinox is on September 21st. So we have a few weeks here to procure it. We've got all this energy of the full moon. And so we're going to ask of our game through the lens of the sea turtle, what is the best way to stay in balance in my business through the equinox? So Kara, would you like to do a 1, 2, or 3 card draw on this one?
I think probably just one.
Okay, beautiful. So let's go ahead, just pick one, hit the start button. Whew! And I love that it just pops right
Alrighty.
up. So it did a shuffle. Here it is. This is our card. That is our answer today. Would you like me to flip that over? This one is called.
Yeah. All the interpretations are right on the back of these cards, right?
Yep.
So here we're looking at many parts fitting together. Of course, if you only have one thing, it's not that hard to balance. So it is looking at how these different pieces of plans and actions, you notice it was a picture of trees in the game, everything about forests have to do with your plans and your actions, right? So each one of them is an opportunity to show up And yet you also have to look at how they fit together to make the whole of your business and of the contribution that you want to be in your business. So when you look at it, it's how do I build the relationships with other people or between the tasks so that I'm making a resilient ecosystem. Right? It's not about this is the only thing that matters and I've just got to get this thing done. I've got to push this one out the door. Right? That's not going to serve us for the next few weeks. There are times for that, but this isn't one of them. Here, we want to look at all the stuff that's on my plate. How does it fit together? And when I consider the highest good for the most people for the longest time, right? That's what the sea turtle is telling us. How can I take all those things that are on my plate and recognize how I move the whole of it forward rather than focusing too much on just getting one thing done?
Mm.
So look at all the things. I know sometimes that alone is scary. And it's important. The things where they relate to others. I can't do this launch until I get this affiliate in place, and I can't talk to the affiliate until I have my copy written, and I can't, right? They get synergy is going to be the word here. To be able to look at how can I come to center, including within me all the perspectives, to find the synergy between all these tasks that's going to allow the whole thing to flow smoothly. So that would be what this card recommends between now and equinox.
I love that, and I love all those trees because I think ultimately a lot of the people who I tend to work with tend to be a little bit more scattered. They maybe artists or healers or who have a lot of things on their plate, like a lot of big trees. There are a lot of big trees. It's not just one big tree, but it's all of them, and then it feels overwhelming. Actually, is what tends to happen. Is like and yet I love you saying that synergy piece and then drawing in other people instead of drawing inside of ourselves and feeling overwhelmed, like saying, oh, wait, from our sea turtle point of view, who out there is supporting this, can help with that, or even does that, and I don't even have to think about it. And so that it just gets done. And then the trees all grow, right? The whole forest grows with all of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
The trees communicate. They
mm,
communicate both underground, right, by dropping into our deepest selves, but they also communicate on the wind. There's that etheric part where we're all moving together in the same wind. There's no point pretending I'm alone.
oh, that's incredible. That's incredible. And I think a lot of times also we think of our personal, energy inside of business. But when we think about our energy and how it interacts with everyone else's businesses and all the other people we serve and all those kind of things, that's an incredible, relaxing
Yeah.
balance, right? Here we
Yeah.
are. We're all okay.
Yeah, and I think it also fits this time because so often we come into September and we are programmed, all right, back to school. It's time to get back to the intellect, get back to discipline, get back to there and there's this, right? This contraction. I need to do the hard things now. Um, well, but do they have to be hard? Yes, there are actions I want to take, but do I have to make it feel like they're hard for it to count?
Yeah, and use the energy of like even a full moon that's giving us all
Yeah.
this great energy that's going to launch things out. Like this is the fullness. It's all happening now. And let that support us.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. Cool. Thank you so much for that reading for all of our viewers and for their businesses and growing it. And so here's my other question then about using and inventing a game for your business. What How do you use your game inside of your business? Like, how does it serve your business?
Hmm. Lots of ways. Everything from having a game night, right? When I'm doing my marketing for my integrated business of doing the tree things, right? Doing people's productivity and planning systems and helping them with their strategy and their business model and helping them with their personal development through my coaching, right? That's a lot going on. If I am invited to go speak to a group, some local networking group, I have to go, oh my gosh, which piece should I talk about? But if I host my own game night or I have a local business leader host a game night and invite their friends, by definition, as we play the game together, I will be talking about all the things and how it fits together, how it's important to blend all these elements. So it's a way of creating my own stage. And that's huge when you want to be able to get your message out in more than a flippin' 15-second elevator pitch. So that's awesome. But even to put onto my social media, I'm going to be having a game night. People are like, wow, that's different. So the fact that having a game is unusual helps people to be intrigued. And I can play that up by occasionally, doing a card draw or, featuring selling games. It's the least of my income streams, but it creates interest. Having it in my bio, just having it in my bio adds credibility. Not only am I an author and speaker, I'm an inventor. So those are the ways that it helps kind of on the outside. Inside my business, when I have a VIP day, or right now, I'm looking at creating some adventure retreats to take people to cabins or something like that. Playing the game during a VIP day lets us bust up times when we've gotten too much into the intellect. All right, let's play a game and get a different perspective. Let's make sure that all of who we are is involved in this planning session. How am I bringing in my body and its knowledge? How am I bringing in my heart wisdom? So by playing the game, it gives me a different way to approach in a VIP day. So it's not just constant flip charts and whiteboards.
I love that. I love that. And one of the unique things that you did with your game is you packaged it inside this plastic bin, which then makes it uniquely travelable, which I always thought it'd be great in a backpack, right? But the idea of making it an adventure retreats for VIP days, it's so, this aligns the brand still, right? It still
Right.
fits inside brand. And this is what's so beautiful. It's kind of like having the great outfit. Okay, I have my perfect accessory that goes with everything.
Right.
That's incredible. And so, your game is available in real form. I have the link below here. You can go straight there. And if you want the animal cards, it's only in the real game. Sorry. But if you really like the idea of the deckable game as well, it is way worth it. Absolutely go download it because you can do them on the fly, on your travel, anywhere you are, and pull up a 3-card spread and have it be deeply meaningful for you and your business and direction. And that moment, like Karen says, when you want to totally shift out where you're at, you're like, what's going on? Or I need an answer, or I'm trying to figure something out. It's so beautiful for that. It's also incredible for even the deeper dive. Like, what if you give yourself a CEO day and you're like, let's do a spread? That is extraordinary as well.
Yep. I do mine the beginning of the year, on the major holidays, at the beginning of each month, and at the beginning of each week. Right. So I always am looking at, okay, super self, what is the rest of the theme at this time that my brain isn't looking at? Please put the rest of it in my face. And so I rely on it a lot to give a holistic perspective in business.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that term. You know, I've heard a lot of people call it higher self, but I love that super self. Like, it's the one that knows all my superpowers, of course. It's the
Yeah.
part of me that already knows. Yes. I love that. Oh, I'm definitely using that one. All
Freely
right, so
available.
I highly recommend that if you're not connected with Karen yet, go get on her list, go find out what she's doing, follow her on social media, and buy Path. Like, seriously, this is the one piece of resource you need today. And so I know it's just extraordinary. So, Karen, are there any last thing that you would like to share with our audience?
You know, the thing that matters most to me is that we start learning to really bring all of who we are into the economic realm, into the business world, because that's where bringing our whole selves, our super self, into that arena is actually going to start to shift the fabric of our economic society so that we can have more of that world that we're all looking to build. So, what's important to me is that you be true to you in whatever way that looks, and you just bring it out full on, unapologetically, and let all of us see the amazingness that is you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to see if I get my little outro to play in just a second. Here we go. Thank you all for joining me today. And until next time, it'll go. I invite you to breathe, listen to your intuition, take inspired action, and of course, play with your business. Thank you for coming. Like the posts, and we'll see you again later.